To-do lists are something that I have always had for a very, very long time, most of my adult life. And I think to-do lists can be a great thing to have, or they can be very self-destructive. And it's about how you lay them out and in understanding what the most important tasks on your to-do list are. I've been a massive guilt. I've been very guilty of this myself in the past. Basically, making to-do lists of things that are just not important, and all it's doing is just creating more clogging upness more than anything, and really confusing things and overwhelming myself with things that are just not really that important. And I went through a stage for a very, very long time where I didn't feel fulfilled unless I completed everything on my to-do list. And what it's important to do is to take a step back and actually have another look at your to-do lists and ask yourself if everything on there is really that important. I always like to say that if you prioritize one key task for each day, whether this is for your work or your personal life, and you understand what that one most important key task is for that day, then you've got that tunnel vision then. And what this is going to do is filter out any other things that are going to get in the way. It's going to basically get you to ask yourself a question of what is the most important thing, what is the most important and the most urgent job that needs to be done on that day. Anything else that you can get done is a bonus. And I think it's important to be able to let go a little bit as well, and not know that it's not the end of the world. If you basically accept yourself for not purposely not getting your to-do lists finished, and then reassess your to-do list at the end of the day maybe, and ask yourself, right, was it really important to do that or not? That's okay, we can delete that completely. If something you feel like was still important, then it may be worth rescheduling that to another day. And this comes down to the Eisenhower Matrix, which is something that I've used for a very long time, and understanding the importance of important and urgent, and then not important and not urgent, and important and not urgent. And it basically comes down to 4 Ds. So it's the first one is to do it now. The second one is to delegate it for somebody else. And then the third one is to decide whether it's worth doing it or not. And the final one is to delete it. So this basically funnels out. And I think it's really important to have another look at your to-do list. And having a to-do list is great, but you have to make sure it's right to start with. Otherwise, all you're going to be doing is creating more pressure on yourself. You're going to be creating more overwhelmingness on yourself. And if you get it right to start with, then you will notice that a lot of your free time will naturally come up anyway, and you're kind of filtering out the process. So yeah, just a quick one today on that with to-do lists. One final thing just to close things on as well is I use a star system on my to-do lists, and I basically pick that one most important task for the day, one key task for the day, and I will put 3 stars next to that. So then when I'm actually going into my diary, my calendar, my handwritten to-do list for the day, straight away I'll see right at the top is those 3 stars. That is number one. That is the one key thing, and it doesn't matter how long or how deeply I focus on that task, that is the one key thing to focus on that. And then everything below it will either be a 2 star or a 1 star. So what I'm doing is giving the stars a correlation to that important and not urgent, that not important and urgent, those kinds of things, which is the breakdown of the matrix, the Eisenhower matrix.